Okay.
All set.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
You're
So we're
welcome.
going to go ahead and go into the introduction. I just assume everybody knows me, but maybe not everybody knows me. So my name is Stacy Pauling. I'm with the Nebraska Department of Education. Been here for a couple years on the service desk, and my partner is Kim Powell, and she is with us, and we've both been here about 2 years. We started pretty much in the same time. So we have experience as data stewards in the public system, and we are very quickly learning all about the non-public system. So we are glad that you guys came to it and join us with the coffee hour. All right, so the non-public curriculum has opened up. It came available yesterday in the new portal. And it's just an independent application that's collecting the course and student and teacher information for that specific year. So you'll be reporting the 25-26 school year course information. And all this data that is pre-populated in the application is coming from the staff reporting. So when you completed the staff reporting collection in July and August, this information, depending on the specific codes that you gave your staff, is being pulled into the curriculum application. And it is available in the new portal. So if you don't, when you're in your new portal account, you don't see the non-public curriculum tile on the home page, then you would have to request it, and you can do that on the profile page. So the dates for that is February 28th is when it's due date, and then it will officially close after audit window closes on March 15th of 2026. So with that, that was my quick little introduction. So with that, I'd just like to kind of move into if there's any specific questions, if anybody's already been in it and they have questions already, go ahead and put them in chat. Kim's monitoring chat. She'll ask them for us, or you can just take yourself off a mute and you can go ahead and ask us anything you'd like.
Stacy, if I can just add something to your last
Sure,
slide, if you want to go back,
sure.
that due date that says February 28th and then the audit date are two separate things. You must have the report done by February 28th to meet regulations. So it needs to be done by the 28th. And then if changes need to be made, we'll be reaching out to you and hopefully we can get that all cleared up by March 15th. So that's what those two due dates mean in case you didn't know.
So Sandy, you stated that due to regulation. So there is like a regulation that says, like a state statutory regulation that says this report has to be done by February 28th.
Yep, it's actually more general than that. It's all reports to the state need to be done on time. And on time means February 28th.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question. So
Sure.
I went in there yesterday and started looking so I can know what information to pull from all of our scheduling and everything. When I went in, just as an example, our PE teacher teaches, he teaches 6 classes a semester, both first and second semester. When I looked in here, there was only 2 lines there. Do I need to add lines for each class
Yes.
he teaches each semester? So I should have
Yes.
12 lines under that teacher. Is that correct?
Yes. That is correct. That is correct.
Okay, that's
Yep.
what I thought. The 2 lines kind of confused me, so I wanted to make sure.
So what happened is that last year he was only reported with 2 lines, and so that data was pulled over from last year, and so it's pre-populated in the application. And so it's showing what he had last year. And that's why it's very important for everybody to go through and review everything, because if the person has changed or added courses or deleted courses, you would go in there and you would change that information. And then every one of them, when they pull it from last school year, they don't pull the student information. So every one of them has to have how many students and if they have dual credit and things like that, and special indicator. Mhm. Great question. Does anybody else have any other questions? Not, I will kind of go into the helpful information that we have kind of a presentation that we got put together. I'm gonna move your little faces over there. So one of the questions that, or one of the things that helps me, and we thought maybe it would help you, is why do we report this stuff? What is this being reported for, and how do we use that data? So at NDE, it's used for compliance, and it's for accreditation Rule 10 and approval of Rule 14. They're also getting the instructional units from this for compliance, and then percentage of teachers in their endorsed area. So that is why we are collecting this data. And then we thought there may be some people that aren't very comfortable in the new portal, or maybe would need to know some more information about the new portal. So we have the portal website, which will give you the legacy tile and the new portal title. And you would need to click on the new portal title, and then you would sign into your account. And then on the home page, if you have already, depending on your role, you might already have the non-public curriculum tile already populated. But if you don't see it, then you would have to request it. And then to open it, you would have to click the launch app. And so when we talk about roles, which roles does have access to it already? We have the district admin non-public. They have that. This is already attached to it. And then you could request the non-public curriculum report district, and then the non-public curriculum report district admin. So those are the roles that are attached to the non-public curriculum. So how do you sign into your account? We have several options that are available to sign into your account. If you have SSO for your school district with the ESU, you could use the click here. There's very few non-publics that do it, but we do have some, so that you might utilize that. Then there's other options of the click here, which the click here populates the next screen next to it, and you can sign in with Google, you can sign in with Microsoft, you can use an email and a password if you want to use that. If you have not created your account yet, and you are not using, like when you click the big blue button and you don't see your school listed there, then you have to utilize one of these other options. And the first thing you would need to do is sign up for the NDE portal account. It would be your first option if you have not signed up for an account yet. So when you get into your account, you need to maybe you don't see the non-public curriculum. So we would want to select the profile page, and then we would select the request column, and then you would complete the field. So then you would select your education organization in the list. That is a required field. And then it would populate the list of roles, and then you would select one of those roles that we have listed on this screen, depending on what you are doing. I would imagine that if you're not a district admin, you would be selecting the non-public curriculum report district. And then that request, we get, in that request, you can say, send a reason if you want to. It's not a required field. The only required fields are the education organization and the roles listed that have to be filled out. You can put in a request, especially if you're a larger non-public and somebody might not know that you are the one that fills out this form. So you could put in like a request that I complete this every year and I need to have access to it. And then you can click the submit. And what happens is that request, that this form is going to your school admin, and they get an email stating that Kim Powell has submitted this request and she wants access to the non-public curriculum. So then that admin will review the request. They have the ability to review it or approve it or deny it. And if you, no matter what the status of their decision, you'll get an email stating you are approved or you are denied. When you are approved, it will just automatically populate on your home screen. Oh, look at this. I didn't push I just kept talking and here it is. So here it will populate on your home screen, and that's what the tile looks like. It says non-public curriculum, and you'll be able to see that. Is there any questions with the new portal?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We have a question that Todd graciously answered. I'm glad he jumped in, but I thought it might benefit everyone.
Sure.
The question is, do we list classes that were offered but no one signed up for? Todd, do you want to tell me your answer verbally, or do you want me to read it?
I think Todd could explain it.
Maybe.
Yeah, my voice is shot, but
Oh, okay.
well, Sandy reminded me too. We don't know if that'll cause an error on your end. And so Stacy and Kim, if you have a response to that, that might be important. But I can answer it from our end when we're doing our monitoring. If you do offer courses that students don't take, we're talking at the high school level, as far as it impacts instructional units. If you offer courses that students don't take, you need to document A, that it was offered, B, that it was offered and no students took it, B, that you have a teacher that was capable of teaching it, and you had room in your schedule for it to be taught. So as that comes through the process, usually we see the error and follow up with the school and ask for the documentation.
Right. And I think that's because, so what we'll see is a deficiency, and then we get the evidence from the school that they offered the course and there was a teacher. Stacy, if they enter courses without a number of students, that'll be an error, won't it?
So I remember let me just say this out loud so everybody knows. This application just got rewritten this school year for the new portal. So when we discussed it in development, I believe we had this conversation about this situation. And we talked about how we were going to resolve this. But at this time, I don't remember if it will cause an error right now.
All of
Kim,
mine
can
came up as-
you ping Nasi and ask him if there's no students reported, if there will be an error?
Sure.
all of mine, I'm Mindy Moore at Our Redeemer. I opened up the webpage. All of mine came up as an error and there's no student count.
Yeah.
So
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking, that we didn't get that, we didn't move farther in that discussion is what I'm thinking. So,
And
Me
so
too.
so Stacy and Cheryl, it'll be just like last year. You'll submit your non-public curriculum report, and if you're a high school, then we'll see that you're short, we'll contact you, and then that's when you'll have to show us what Todd was talking about, which is your master schedule included this course, and this teacher was available to teach it, and this is when it would have happened. Does that help, Cheryl?
and this will be something that we can write to the developers to put
Yes.
into the new year, like the next school year, to be able to just put it all here.
Yes, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
And I'm going to add a note to Nasi too, to let him know that we had talked about this.
Okay. I appreciate it, Kim.
And Mindy, thank you for being our checking it out person and proving what we thought. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes. All right. No questions on the new portal. Everybody's in and checked it out. That's great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just continue on. So we're going to kind of dig deeper into the non-public curriculum, and the whole scope of it is that each staff member reported with these specific teacher assignments will need a course reported. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah, 5 teacher codes there. And what should be reported is the course codes, the grade level, semester codes. In the new application, it's laid out very nicely. I like how they have done it. And I feel like it's easier to know what each category or which section and what's supposed to be put in that. So, go ahead, Mindy.
Is there a link on here for the book like there was on the old portal?
So there is a link in the new application. It's called instructions, and you can click on
Okay,
that.
I see it now. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So the sections are kind of labeled differently within the new application. So we have a curriculum entry, and that is kind of the pre-populated with staff members. And that's kind of where you would manually, I think is the best way to say that, manually add your data in. And it has the staff members that reported last year. And each staff member, as we stated before, has to be reviewed, and you need to look over and update that data. And that error is going to stay populated, that there's 0 students in it, even after you completed it, unless you run I think it's called rerun validation. If you rerun it after you do each staff member, then it will change to validate. But if you just go through and complete all the staff members, it will say error and not validated. And then you have to hit that button, and then it will check all the staff members. So you can do it either way, how you want to do it, but the red is not validated, green is validated. And then the course codes, let's say you're not for sure. The course codes are listed in the application now and gives you a nice long list of course codes. But if you're not for sure on what that, here we go, what that course all entails, we have a link right here to the course code website, and you can look up that by subject, partial name, the course code. Even with the system, I like the new feature where you can just you can start typing in the numbers, or you can start typing in the name of the course, and it will populate. It does like its own little search on that really long list that we have down. So that's a very nice feature. And Sandy or Todd, if there's something that you want to add as I'm talking, go ahead and just stop me, okay? Okay. So this is what the curriculum entry section looks like. It has a district-wide validation. So it's going to tell you if you have two or three schools, it's going to tell you how many total staff members. It's going to list the schools out. If you only have one, it's going to say 1 of 1. And then it's going to say the schools and then tell you how many errors are in that. And then you have the option to select the schools and whatever school you want to work on at that time. And then you can select the staff members. And when you select the staff member, then that staff member's information is going to populate below this gray area. So here is a staff member screen. And this is what Kathy was talking about, the list, the columns. So she was only, the PE teacher only had 2 and she needed 6. And so then you would click the add the record, and then you would add the additional course information. And this will just keep populating all on one page. It'll just keep populating as many course lines as they have. And then if you just need to edit this, then you would click the edit button, and it will populate another screen, and it will give you all the drop down information, and you can edit whatever is that needs to be edited. Let's say they're not teaching this this 077931 course anymore. Then you would just hit the delete button, and it will give you a confirmation screen that says, are you sure you want this to go away? And if you do, you just say yes, and then it will disappear off this line. And then it also gives you a total of how many curriculum records, if you need to know it for a quick glance. If you're going through people and you're like, okay, yeah, that person should have 4, that person should have 5, you can do that's another little quick glance there. Anything else? So this one, this screenshot here is showing the red. So it's got the curriculum records with 0 students, which means that it is not validated. Is there any questions with the online entry? Okay. No, Kim? All right. So the next session, or the section that we're going to talk about is that you have You can do the online entry, which is I call it manually entering. And depending on your school size, that might be very sufficient for you and easier for you to do. But if you're a larger school and that is takes a lot of time, we do have an option that you can upload files, like staff reporting, and it's called the data download and upload. And that is a section, and it provides you with an Excel file of your previous school year's curriculum. And even if you wanted a copy of your previous school year system information, you could download it in this area, and you can save it if you want a reference of what you reported for them last school year. Now, once you download this can be utilized as your template for uploading the new file. So you can download this. It's going to show you what you had last year. You can review it and you can update it. Now the file has very specific layout details, and we have laid that all out in the non-public curriculum guide. Let's see if I Oh, we haven't posted it here yet. Okay. And I don't have a shot of it, but in the non-public guide, there is a section called appendix, in the appendix called file layout, and it has all the detailed information of the file. And the next thing is just a screenshot of the actual section of what you would see. So it's going to say data download. You have two tabs. One's a download and one's an upload. And so you click on the download tab, and then underneath that, it says curriculum data, and you would click that button and it's going to download it. And it's going to download it in a Excel file. There's no more CSV files when you download it. The next thing that you would, after you have your file all ready to go, you can upload it. We have, again, in the non-public curriculum guide, we tried to be very specific and help you with that information. And you can use that appendix to help you complete and get the file template all ready to go. We made it easier. You can do an Excel, I don't know why I can't say that today, Excel or a CSV format. So either one that you are comfortable with, the system will accept. There's no more special naming of the file. You can name it however you are comfortable with it, and you can name it and it will upload into the system. It actually goes through a validation process before it would actually completely upload into the system, but it's a very easy process now. And once you have completely made a successful upload, all that data from the last school year is going to be erased. So it's going to be replaced with whatever you have on your spreadsheet. So here's a screenshot of the upload tab. And so it says choose files. So you click that upload tab, click this plus choose files. It's going to show you that it is attached. And then there's going to be a little bouncing arrow with a message that says, oh, you need to click upload. So then you would click this upload button, and then it's going to go through a validation process. I did not give a screenshot of that, but it's going to go through a validation process, and that validation process is going to tell you, you'll get another screen that's going to tell you, like everything passed, everything's good to go, it's all in green, and the file is in valid, or it's going to say, no, you have 12 errors. And then on the bottom of the screen, it's going to tell you, list every single row that you have in that spreadsheet. And you would go through that and it's going to tell you this row has been validated. This row has been validated. Oh no, row number 3 has not been validated. It's missing students, or it's missing a course code or something like that. It's very specific, and it will give you that feedback so you know how to go back and fix your spreadsheet. There is a maximum size to the file, but it's pretty big. I don't think anybody should run into too many issues with that. This new application is required now to have been submitted, and approved. So you will have to have, anybody that has district access can submit the, application, and that submit button will not populate until everything is validated. So you're not going to even see it until it's all validated. And when everything's validated at the school and the district level, you'll have the submit button and it can be submitted. And then your administrator will see a button populated that says approve. And so then the administrator of the school will have to approve and click the approve button. So basically they're reviewing, they're saying, yes, everything that is in this collection is accurate. Sorry, we call it application status. It's accurate, and we're sending this into NDE.
And Stacy, if I could add here, because there might be a little confusion, like with the assurance statement with non-publics, they have to send that on to another person. For example, the Omaha Archdiocese has to send that on to Vicki Kofold. This report does not require that. The approve button is typically the building principal. Okay, so that's who the approver is. I just wanted to clarify that.
No, that's great clarification. Thank you. Is there any other questions with that? Then we have these additional information. I am not an expert of this. I'm just taking some information off the website. So Todd and Sandy and Daco, if you have additional information that you want to share on this, please jump in. But I just know that we get questions at this at the service desk, and I share this information with them. So there's several forms, and these forms are available in the application. Well, the links to the forms are available in the application. That's the best way to say it. There is in the application, a menu item that's called forms. It has the link to the course codes, and also has a link to these forms. And so if you are required to fill out these forms, you could use that form section and get to the proper forms. So this one is by name. I didn't say that right. Yeah, but no, somebody help me out here. Kim, I can't hear you.
Biennial?
Thank you. I don't know why I can't get that out today. Biennial courses form. It's completed when a course is not taught by staff members and that are employed by the school. That's what it is. And it's defined 2 courses which are taught in alternative years. And it has to be mailed to the accreditation office, or it can also be emailed to this email address. And it has to be received by February 28th. Is that correct, Sandy?
Yes.
It has to be to your office.
Yes, and it can be sent in earlier. We would really even appreciate it if it was sent in earlier, because there's a whole thing that has to be done with it. So,
Okay.
and this is high schools. For all of you K-8 schools out there, this pertains to high schools.
Okay.
One more quick thing, Stacy. When
Yep.
it comes to completing these forms, there's a lot of information that they're requiring. You want to make sure that you're completing the forms completely and not leaving off any numbers. So for example, let's say you have a course number, a dash, and there's 2 additional numbers. You want to make sure that you're completing those numbers and making sure that you're putting in the correct numbers to staff or whoever's teaching those courses. Because what happens is that if we don't have that correct number, then we have to send it back to you. So just be aware of that.
Okay. Thank you. That was good information. All right, so this next one is cooperative arrangements counted for high school instructional program. So in the title, it tells me that it's for high school, and it's again, not taught by staff members, but that are employed by the school system. And it's a cooperatively arranged courses that provide cooperative arrangements between school systems or ESUs or post-secondary. So would this be, for my clarification and maybe for some other people's, is this like dual courses then? Like let's say I'm working with another post-secondary school and my students are taking a dual credit class. Is this form to be filled out for that, or is that something different?
Yes, it could be filled out for that.
Okay. Another important note that I saw was that it needed to, a teacher must hold a valid Nebraska teaching certificate for this form. And again, it has to be either emailed or mailed to your guys' office by the February 28th.
Yep.
Is there anything else you guys like to add with this form?
I'll have some to say when you hit the next form.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Oh, so this is a dual credit for accredited schools. And this is where the kids, for the example I just gave, where they're going to a post-secondary and they're getting dual credit. And it's transcript impacted so that they're going to show this on their transcript. And they have to have a valid Nebraska teaching certificate. And when we say that, Todd and Sandy and Daco, we're saying like the staff member that is not employed by my school system has to have a valid teaching certificate, correct? Yep, okay. And then again, it needs to be mailed to the office or emailed. Todd, what would you like to share?
Yeah, and in regard to all three of those forms, generally speaking, it's been principals, superintendents, that have filled those out. Make sure that you fill them out by hand. Daco said make sure they're complete, but also make sure it's legible. And the other thing is make sure you're using the current form. We have had a few instances where people, it appears, have drug out an old form. I mean, old, like a long time ago. Make sure it's the form that you download off the NDE website. If we have questions about the form, we're going to return it because it's a pretty intensive process for us to confirm the information that you've provided with this.
So Todd, I did pull up, I had already pulled up in the browser because we get a lot of questions as a ticket, where are these forms located and things like that. So I did pull up the website. There's also, again, in the application, there's a link to all this in the application, in the form section. But when I'm looking at it right here, there's two numbers here. Is there a way that you can clarify which one is for which?
Yeah.
Stacy, if you could go back.
Yep.
If you see that first one where it says dual credit form, non-public accredited, so that's going to be for their accredited schools, and then the one below it is for the approved schools, so that's going to be your Rule 14 schools. And then I appreciate you showing the next screen as to what the form looks like. You can see within there all of the information that they're requiring. If you can look on that first line there, it's hard for me to see.
Let me make it bigger. Let's make it bigger so everybody can see it. Does that
work?
Thank
you. Yes. So if you skip past that first box where it says county district number and so forth and get down to, there you go, that course name, teacher's name, course code, teacher certificate number. You want to make sure, as Todd was saying before, legibly put that teacher certificate number in there. And then meets Rule 10 regulation number. You want to make sure that you complete that section there with the dash, because if you leave that blank, we'll end up sending it back to you because there's a lot of those codes in there, and we want to make sure we have the correct one. So you just want to make sure that you're filling out that information correctly, so that way we won't have to send it back to you.
So this one that I'm highlighting right here, this is the one that needs, okay. And is that on both of them?
Yes.
Yes.
And keep in mind that a teacher certificate number is different from their staffing ID.
That is true. And the certificate number can be found, like if you have your teacher's ID, and you can look up on the public Teach website, you could find their certificate number very quickly on that public website. Yep. Kim, is there any questions pertaining to this?
Only questions about getting into the new portal.
Okay, I'm letting you
And
manage
we
that.
have tickets created for them, and one of them has already done what we would
Okay.
normally recommend and gotten in. So
Perfect. Great.
So on the staffing that was inserted, that was brought in,
Yes.
it doesn't look like all of them that I put in were brought in, so I just have to add them manually.
Are you talking about course codes or are you missing
I'm
the
talking
staff
the
members?
the staff fee, because I have
Okay.
people that I put in the fall that are not showing up.
Okay, so that was one of the common errors that we were going to talk about. So I'm
Oh,
just going to
okay.
jump to that screen. So if you have a staff member that's not listed, you can't add them manually to the non-public curriculum. That information has to come from your staff reporting collection. So you will have to go back to your legacy portal. So you'll go back into the different portal. This is where the transition right here gets kind of hairy, but so you have the non-public curriculum in the new portal, but the staff reporting collections in the legacy portal still. So you'll go back there and you can do two things. You can get in your staff reporting, you can find that staff member, and you can verify that they have the proper position assignment code, so that, oh, which screen that was. We had that long list in the beginning of those 5 staff member codes. And if it has one of those and it's not coming through, then you need to send a ticket to NDE service desk and we will review it. If it has a different staff position assignment, then you need to change the position assignment and make sure it's one of the 5 that will get pulled through. Because if it's not one of those 5 staff position assignments, it's not going to come through to the non-public curriculum. It will only accept those. Then we also wanted to remind you, the other way that you can do it is if you wanted to run a report, which is in the NSSRS validation collection, which is separate from the staff reporting. So that's another different collection. You can run a report, and it's the current personnel report, and that will give you a list of all the people in your staff reporting, and it will also tell you like their position assignment code and their FTE and all that good stuff. And so you can, those are 2 ways that you can verify what the position assignment code is for that person. Now, when you make any updates in your staff reporting, it's going to take at least a day, and I always say a day. It takes an overnight syncing for the 2 systems to talk and for it to be updated. So it's not going to populate right away. So if you change it this morning, you're going to have to wait until tomorrow morning and look at it again. It's not going to populate right away. And then we do have some new position assignment codes. I don't know if everybody saw that when we were doing staff reporting, so we wanted to bring it to your attention again, that a head teacher with no students, that position code is 1151. So let's say you have a staff member that is in your non-public curriculum, but they don't have any students. So that's what the purpose of this new position assignment code is that they would have a head teacher with no students. So that's 1151. And then we also have the clergy counselor, which is 2122. So those can be updated in your staff position or staff reporting. And then again, when you change that, it's still going to take a whole day for that to be changed to be reflected in your non-public curriculum. I'm not for sure who was going to ask me that question, but does she have any other? Mindy, were you the one that asked me that?
Yes, it was, because we have a long-term sub that's in there, and I know I put her in. And so that's probably the difference, because she has the sub code, which I'll have to change. But then the music teacher popped up, but the PE teacher did not. So I'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, I would start with their position assignment codes.
And Mindy, that's a great reminder that you can't assign courses to a substitute teacher. So thank you for bringing that up.
So she is now, he did not come back. So she's the whole, she is the classroom teacher this year. She does, so I'll just have to go in and change it because.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Can you elaborate on that for me? This is Kevin Dodson, North Platte Catholic Schools. So I had to bring in a long-term sub as our math teacher. So you're saying I have to list them as a teacher and not as a sub? In this, it gets complicated here because he's taught dual credit courses out at the college for us and comes in the afternoons to teach our students math here. But he was told that, or I was told that I couldn't list him as a teacher because he doesn't, his teaching license in Nebraska, I think, expired years ago. Can you walk me through that a little bit? How am I supposed to list him?
That sounds like a question that you need to put in a ticket, Kevin, and we need to dig into what is all the specifics.
Because
that's what-
Kevin, you want to list him on the staff report, honestly, with who he is and what you've hired him to do. So if he's a
Yeah.
long-term sub, then you have him as a 5190. And then the
Okay.
problem is when you come to the staff reporting, you won't be able to list him as the teacher of record because he won't migrate over.
Right.
So you need to list someone else as the teacher of record. Typically, I mean, we can talk through some of those scenarios, but
Okay.
that's
And
That's
I
what
was
that's-
also just sitting here thinking about Mindy, where she said that it was a sub, but now they're the full teacher. So, like, I'm wondering if that person needs to have two position assignment codes, where she was a sub for a little bit and then with an end date. So let's say that she started subbing
Well,
August.
she started the year
Okay, so she
and-
started the year.
and she was the teacher in there. And then the person that's supposed to come back didn't come back. So she's been the only one in there this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering if like she needs to have like days worked for her sub certificate recertification. So like you want to reflect.
But
in
she
staff
has
reporting.
a certification. She
Oh.
has a teaching certificate.
Okay.
She's
In
just come
staff
out of
reporting,
retirement.
we
Yeah.
always just recommend that you need to reflect the full story. So sometimes in those situations, we have a sub and we say that she's subbing from August to September, and then all of a sudden she is the head teacher. So then from September to June, she's the head teacher. So that's what I was just in my head processing, whether she needed two lines. But if you have further questions, want us to look at it, or you know that she only needs one line, that sounds great. Okay, so the next screen is staff members that don't have students. That's again, we just kind of talked about, it's just another one problem that we have, the position assignment codes 1151 or the 2122. And then going in your staff reporting or your NSSRS validation collection. And then another common ticket that we get is they're trying to upload a file and it won't be accepted. The application now goes through a very detailed validation process. It will give you a detailed information of the error. It states specifically which row has that error and what the problem is in that row. And then you can also use the guide in the appendix to review how that should be uploaded. One of the other things is you need to have the leading zeros. So in your files, make sure that the Excel is not removing the leading zero. So you will need a leading zero in some of that. And then we just had the resources. We have a variety of resources with links. We have the non-public curriculum guide. We will get that up on the website. I didn't realize it wasn't there yet. And then but the new current instruction guide is available in the application itself in the instruction menu item. Staff reporting guide, we have course codes, website, non-public forms, non-public guidance, staff reporting. We will be sending out a bulletin later today with the curriculum workdays that will be coming up. We will be offering 2 non-public curriculum workdays in February. And the bulletin is going to be coming out this afternoon sometime, so please watch for that. And there's 2 days, a morning option and an afternoon option. And then I also put on the NDE accreditation email address, and then again, also our service desk. Is there any other questions? Comments? Daco, Sandy, is there anything else that you can think of, Todd, that people ask you all the time and you're like, I do want to say in the instruction guide, there's different teacher scenarios that you can look at with SPED and things like that, that break down charts, that give you that information that you can look at for reporting.
I do have a question, and that is, where will we go to get to look at the recording once it's completed?
Sure. I'm glad you asked that because I pulled up a website. Our department, the NDE Data Research and Evaluation, does have a YouTube list, and we have made a playlist for SIPs and systems. You can be a subscriber to that. We have also have the website. I did not pull that up, but I'm going to pull it up really quick. And we have been putting links. So once it's posted, any of the topic titles that are blue is a link to that specific topic, that video, and it'll take you straight to that. And hopefully we'll have this posted within the next couple days. We'll have it posted, and you can either get the link from the SIPs and Systems website, or if you want to go straight to the playlist on our YouTube channel, you can go from there too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I can even drop this in the chat if somebody wants to bookmark it or save it. Okay. Well, if there is, we got all the questions answered in the chat, Kim, before I tell everybody goodbye.
Yes, I don't see anything in there.
Okay. Then I just wanted to say thank you for joining us. Good questions. This is a new application, so if you have any more questions, please email us and we will help you through them. We do have the next coffee hour dates already scheduled out. We've had some tickets asking for those dates in advance, and so we have them posted on the website. We are going to be talking about the end of the year state reporting in April is going to be our topic. So you can come with questions for the end of the year state reporting of things that have to be done. And we just look forward to you coming and joining us. Also, if you have a topic for any of the other future dates, please email us and let us know. I just remembered that. We are open to topics. So if there's something you really want on your heart that you want to talk about, let us know and we will get it on the schedule.
I had a quick question for you.
Sure, John.
So I've got all greens going here. I've got all the schools in the district pass validation. I put in the curriculum record right. Everything looks good. And then when I hit approve collection, I'm getting an error code of 403.
Okay.
What's that mean?
That sounds like it's something with the developers. Can you submit a ticket and say that you are getting that error code, and we will look at it and see if we can get it resolved quickly for you.
Perfect. And then
John, I just want to
to
clarify, since you see the approve button, I'm assuming you are the admin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So send that to NDE accreditation at nebraska.gov.
Actually, send it to NDE service desk.
Hey, Stacy.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Yes, Dave.
I had someone reach out to me with that same issue. They had that. Did you say 403? I had that same issue, so I forwarded to the NDE service help desk.
Okay, so then we will look into it. But John, if you want to send your ticket too, that just gives us more support that there's an issue, and so we can have the developers look into it. And he's very quick at it, so he'll probably resolve it pretty quickly.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
For clarification, we did have a question if the April 14th chat will be at 11 a.m. also. And yes,
Yeah.
they are all scheduled for 11 a.m.
And yes, somebody just said that the YouTube channel, there's a lot of variety, different videos out there from our department. So some of them are specifically for like staff reporting and things like that. So you can just go out there and check out that channel. But we did create a specific playlist just for non-public, just for the SIPs and systems coffee chat. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all coming. I don't see any other questions coming in. I will go ahead and let you have 10 minutes to your day. Go to early lunch early. Thank you. Now I gotta stop sharing.